Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Sherlock. I'm your host, Josh Gillis, and today I am taking a look at another shark movie because it is Saturday. And we are returning to a filmmaker that I am obviously a fan of. If you listen to the Open Casket podcast, um, the Sick on Cinema podcast, my own show, if you know me at all, you know that I like Donald Farmer. But there is a film in Donald Farmer's massive filmography that I really disliked the first time that I watched it. I did a review on the channel and didn't really think anything of it. Upon rewatching it, I did have some new opinions on it. Wanted to give it a re-review. I deleted that old video a while ago just because I didn't agree with, some of the opinions. I just didn't like the video. But that is, of course, going to be Shark Exorcist. I got it in this Shark Attack 3-pack from Wild Eye Releasing. I believe you can get it on DVD on its own. So this is about a nun, or I believe it was, so she's supposed to be like a demon nun, I guess. We'll get into this. Who wants to summon Satan. She does so, and it goes to a shark for whatever reason. A priest comes looking for his lost brother, and there's the whole thing with that. And there's a group of girls that get caught up in this whole thing as well. Yeah, the plot of this is really messy. My description of it is about as clear as the movie makes it. So you're not coming into a movie like Shark Exorcist for the story. It's called Shitty Shark Saturday for a reason. Now, this film, I believe it's the lowest rated film on IMDb or Letterboxd. Not only that I've covered on Shark Saturday, but I think the lowest I've covered ever in general. It's something. Now, Donald Farmer gets a lot of flack. Some of it warranted, some not. For making cheesy B movies that are so bad they're good, or just bad in some people's eyes. I'm personally a big fan of Donald Farmer. I think he has made some legitimately really good movies, and even when he doesn't make a good movie, they're still fun. And I've spoken to Donald Farmer, obviously. If you watch my channel, he's a great guy. And he has had a massive influence on independent film, whether you like it or not. You have to give that to him. Even if you don't like his films, you have to, give the tip of the hat where it's due. But Shark Exorcist, it's one of those movies where, like, 80s and 90s shot on video independent filmmakers come and they make shark movies now. It's almost like a trend. I mean, you got Mark Peloni making stuff like Sharkenstein, Sharkula, forgot about what the other one I was going to say. What is it? Doll Shark? Yeah. You got Ron Bonk making stuff like House Shark, which I actually did quite enjoy, and it is self-aware, but, in that vein still. You got Tim Ritter making Sharks of the Corn, which I'll review on the channel eventually. But it's almost like this trend, to make a shark movie that's almost intentionally bad. You get a lot of that in Shark Exorcist as well. There's jokes where it's like they make, it's obviously self-aware and Donald Farmer's taking the piss. But is Shark Exorcist worthy of the awful low score? Yes and no. Quality-wise, this is probably Donald Farmer's worst movie, at least that I've seen, and I have seen many. Maybe not to the same degree as his very, very early Super 8 short films. Those are just more amateurish, but this one is like, I don't want to say the laziest, but it is kind of the laziest. The shark attacks in this film, it's the same exact CGI clip every time, without fail. Why is this? I have no idea. I mean, I know the budget's low, but it's blatantly obvious. Um, the plot doesn't make a lot of sense. Of course, it's Shark Exorcist. Um, the gore, or if you would even call it that, the special effects are awful. Um, the acting, honestly, is not as bad as you would think, at least in like context of other shark movies, like shark exploitation movies coming out these days. Um, some of them are, it ranges from bad to decent, but never is it like so bad that it's good, except maybe a couple of times with like a certain character that I won't get into because I don't want to spoil that. But for most of the time, it's not, you can take it or leave it. Make Shark Exorcist special, or, at least watchable, um, is the, like, it's sort of like a more than the sum of its parts situation, almost like something like Things. Definitely not as good as Things. But there's like so much bad going on that kind of adds up and makes something like this is a dumpster fire, but it's entertaining if you like that. Um, the continuous like repeat of the shark CGI does become funny at some point. At least it did to me because it's like, oh, there it is again, and I started laughing at it. Um, there are intentional jokes in this. Most of them fall flat. But there is an exorcism scene towards the end of the movie that I did laugh at quite a bit. Just because of how absurd it is. Like, there's, can't be an exorcism movie without some puke. And, we love puke on this channel. So, yeah, you know what else we love? Amish listeners. Thanks, guys. If you're an Amish listener, shout out. Um, but, yeah, and then you get shark zombie type women. Um, which is odd. Um, sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. Um, get shark women, which are very, it's obviously weird. Also funny though because they're just wearing like mouthpieces and their mouth can't close all the way. Thought that was very funny. And when they open their mouth too much, you can see the like mouthpiece kind of moving down, like where it's going to fall out of their mouth. Um, yeah, it's a comedy of errors sometimes. Other times it is just kind of bad. Um, I think my cat's trying to get in. Um, yeah, it's just kind of bad sometimes. They're like the comedy that's intentional, like the jokes are bad. And it actually kind of hinders the experience. But, overall, I do think this is a relatively funny movie for what it is. And, it's lazy and silly, like people are getting attacked by a shark in a foot of water. But you could certainly do worse entertainment wise. And if you're a fan of trash cinema like I am, you're probably going to find something to enjoy here. Um, there is, as I mentioned, the acting ranges from bad to good. It's usually not so bad that it's good, but there is a couple of times where it is so bad that it's good. And there's this. It's mostly not because of the acting; it's because of the dialogue that's written for them, which is bizarre sometimes. And I think part of what makes this film entertaining is like how strange it is too. A movie like Shark Exorcist, it doesn't just have one, but like two or three post-credit scenes. Why? I have no idea. Um, but yeah, I know that I'm a Donald Farmer fan, so I'm probably biased, but I did enjoy this one more than at least something like Sharkula, which kicked off this entire show. Um, and for Farmer fans, you're gonna watch it. For shark exploitation fans, the name is probably gonna make you want to watch this. You may be disappointed, you maybe not. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the best either. It's kind of just middle of the road. But when I watched this the first time, it was one of my least favorite movies ever. I did want to watch it later on though, so I mean I can say that in its favor compared to everything, a lot of the other shark movies that I've seen where I'm like, I'm done after one time. So Maybe even be one that I return to again in the future just for the meme, you know. Yeah. Shark Exorcist, middle of the road, 2.5 out of 5. Something about that. Maybe 3. Um, Watch it if you haven't. You got time. It's 70 minutes. It's a good Sunday afternoon movie. It makes Asylum shark movies look like masterpieces, just to give you an idea. Um, this 3 pack I think I got for like $10 originally. Um, and when Wild High Releasing puts out a shark movie, you know what you're gonna get. So, as always, this has been Shark Saturday, and I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 brain cells, and 0 planning. I'll see you guys tomorrow with my Q&A video, or on Monday if I'm out of town. I don't know. This channel's hard to keep up with sometimes, when life gets wild. But make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. Follow the usual people. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Monday. Thanks.